Welcome back. You're watching NewsX. My name is Vineet. Prime Minister Modi-led Cabinet Committee on Political Affairs announced its landmark decision of conducting a caste enumeration exercise under the broader population census set to be conducted. Well, the last time a caste census was conducted in the country was under the colonial era of the British government in 1931. The centre's announcement, however, has raised questions on a contentious issue brought up almost every time reservations are discussed. The 50% ceiling set by the Supreme Court in its 1992 ruling. The opposition, led by Lok Sabha LOP Rahul Gandhi, has been clamouring for the removal of this 50% cap ever since the centre made its announcement. Now, while the 50% cap on reservation is not a constitutional mandate, it has become a general rule following the 1992 precedent set by the Apex Court. However, with the centre's decision about to create a new data set about caste in India and parties scrambling to take part in the political point scoring this allows for, will we see the 50% quota limit being removed in view of the new census? Well, that's exactly what we will discuss. Joining us on the show is Dr. Dharinder Dayal, BJP spokesperson. Nikhat Abbas, Congress spokesperson, also joins us on the show. Mr. Sumit Peer, senior political commentator, with us on the program. Last but not the least, Advocate Gyanendra Mishra, political analyst, also joins us on the show. Sumit Peer, well, the caste census, it was something that the opposition for a very, very long time had accused the central government of avoiding. But now they are targeting the government, saying that they have brought it up at a time where tensions are flaring up between India and Pakistan. And they're accusing the government that this is going to create more of a distraction from what the government needs to do right now, rather than the actual, benefits of having this census. Your take?
Thank you very much for having me on your show. Yes, we are going through a difficult time, and I have a point of view which is my personal, and I don't have any information or not privy to any special information on this. I believe Congress has used its power and veto power and discretion right now to push the government to announce this, because that is the ploy of the Congress to divide the Hindu society and start this unending caste war in India, which will dismantle and which will break the society into smaller parts. Congress is not clear and does this so-called Jatigat Janaganna include Muslims? 72 firke Musalmanon ke bhi hai. Does what happens if the outcome of the reservations if the outcome of the census is altogether different? If some sections their reservation quotas are decreased and for some sections they increase, how do you handle it? What if there is a shift between the OBC and SC reservation? And by the way, when you talk about the Muslim community is part of OBC, Muslim community is part of ST reservation. That's the notion I want to set the clear for the perspective. Now, this idea of Congress is half-baked, because if Congress wanted to do it, then when Manmohan Singh ji promised it, he got it done. He never published the data. Yesterday on your show, one of the Congress pravakta was saying, because we could not compile the data. Well, ma'am, there's a technology called big data and Hadoop. It can do it in just 5 minutes. So don't tell us 1.5, 2 years you could not compile the data. In Karnataka, you had got the Jatigat Janaganna done or the caste census done. Why the data was not published? What stops Rahul Gandhi from getting that data published? In my opinion, I think Congress is trying to use the situation where the country is going through a difficult time, where we are headed for a conflict with Pakistan. They are trying to use this opportunity to twist the arm of the government and twist the arm of the Honorable Prime Minister and make him to politically comply to this, because that suits their narrative. And the question is that if this is what Congress wants to do in one, and on top of that, what are you doing? You're going and accusing the government because you want to do this to distract attention. Distract attention from what? When? If there's a change in tomorrow, as when the data comes up, will they agree to the change? If some castes are taken out and some castes are taken in, will they agree to the change? Why they have not done it in the term of Dr. Manmohan Singh ji? Why Karnataka has not given the data? These are some of the questions which Rahul Gandhi needs to be asked, and he must answer. And another thing is, Vineet, when we talk about the 50% bar, if you look at Indira Sahni case and all other cases which have gone there is a kind of a sacrosanct bar, because Constitution says we have to be fair to others. With all the love and respect for our Dalit, OBC and ST brothers and sisters. But what about those people who are non-OBC, who are non-Dalit or non-ST? What happens to their laws? What happens to their liberty? What happens to their freedom? So these are the things. Like, this is a dangerous path which we are treading. And Rahul Gandhi exactly wants this kind of discussion to start in the country. He wants one Hindu to be pitted against another Hindu, one caste to be pitted against the other caste, and there should be a synchrony between one caste and one other state, and they should be fighting in the other state. That is exactly what they want. And is this a way? I'm putting a very direct question here. Is this a way of asking for Muslim reservation? Because to me, Rahul Gandhi says, "Jiski jitni abadi utna haq." So in a way, if you tomorrow come and say, look, dekho ji, Musliman 12% or 14%, whatever, I don't know. But is there a way? Then are you going to demand that because Muslims are 12% or 14%, then 14% seats should be reserved for Muslims? Does it mean that in armed forces you will have 14% Muslims? Does it mean then in parliament you will have 14% Muslims? Does it mean in ISRO, RAW, wherever, BHEL, in private companies will have 14% Muslims? Is he trying to start the way for that? And if that is happening, and how many seats is he giving? When the women reservation was talked about, how many seats has he given? If you look at the today's number, he says there are 52% Dalit brothers in the OBCs in our country. So as per that logic, what is a Dattatreya Kol Kashmiri Pandit Brahman doing sitting at the helm of the affairs of Congress? He should resign and give it to a OBC brother or a SC brother or a ST sister. He should resign first. When it comes to ticket distribution, does Rahul Gandhi follow the logic? When it comes to giving the seats and tickets, and when it comes to making the CWC and those mantralayas and those cabinet ministries and those state ministries, does Congress follow the suit? No, they don't follow it. They have never implemented this. They never wanted to implement this. This is only a way to corner the Modi government, and because there's a dire situation in the country, and bhai, na mauke ka fayda uthana, and to divide the Hindu society. That is how you are going to, I look at it, Vineet. Even if you want to do this census, this is very difficult. Har jagah caste ka subcaste, and and even when we tried to do it last time, there were so many bugs in that data, there were so many anomalies. It is physically and technically impossible to comprehend this data, but he still wants you to go through that path. And what is the motive and mission and all, I don't understand. Now blaming the government is like कहते हैं ना हिंदी में जले पे नमक छिड़कना. That is what he wants. And you can't have country run as per, where there will be one. How can a central government have a policy, one in Bihar's Nalanda district and another in Patna Sahib? How can you run a government like that? How can I have one policy for, for example, Bengaluru, and I can have one policy for, say, example, Bundelkhand? It can't be like that. Where does the equal rights what were promised to us by the constitution go? Where does that we are all equal in the name in front of the state and the law and the constitution? Where does that go in? And why Congress is silent about the Muslims? Why Congress is silent about the Muslim reservation? Is this a ploy basically to divide the Hindus and get Muslim reservation? That is my allegation on them, and that is where somebody could answer me. I'll be highly grateful.
Okay. Advocate Gyanendra Mishra is also with us on the program. Advocate Mishra, you heard what Sumit said. He's saying that Congress is using this opportunity at a time when it should be supporting the government in almost everything.
So, Sumit, I believe that, it is a self-defeating argument. I fail to understand what the point he is trying to make. It is the BJP government which has chose this moment of time, which everybody is questioning the timing, of announcing that they would do the caste census, which has been the demand of the opposition, and particularly from Mr. Rahul Gandhi, consistently for last 2-3 years. So now, as the government has announced that they want to do this caste census, obviously the question would be asked that what is the structure of this caste census? How, when, in what ways this census will be done, so as to, the objective behind it is achieved. And the objective is a very noble objective. It is a very pertinent objective that, And this is what is mandated by our constitution. This is mandated by our directive principle of state policy, which the court has consistently held, though not enforceable like fundamental right, but has the equal importance and significance as far as the governance of the country is concerned, that there would be the equal distribution of the wealth of the nation among the various sections and of the society of the in India. And the caste census is the first step to ascertain the percentage of population of different caste, so that the distributions of wealth and the policies for the development are structured around to benefit those who are deprived from the course of development. And therefore, if the question are being asked that what is the agenda behind this caste consensus, why this particular time has been chosen to announce the caste consensus when nobody was talking about, at least at this moment, where the entire country was, looking towards the government to take the appropriate action against the perpetrator of this unspeakable, the violence that has happened in Pahalgam. So instead of answering those questions, now the government has come up with boogie of caste consensus all of sudden, caste census, sorry, all of sudden. And if the opposition is asking, and particularly because Mr. Rahul Gandhi was advocating the caste census, continuously from the various political platform, that it should be done, the new caste census, which has not been done since 2011, should be done to ascertain, the weaker section of the society, their percentage in the population of India, so that the policies, the political policies, economic policy, developmental policies, welfare policies, can be made in the sense that those who are deprived from, as I said, the development progress should get their, adequate share in the national development, economic development.
Okay, let me get Dr. Tyal into this conversation as well. Dr. Tyal, Rahul is of course of the opinion that the 50% cap needs to be removed. Where do you stand on this? And do you think that this is something which can serve as an opportunistic agenda for any party for that matter?
Absolutely. He's got no clue because they never thought something like this would happen, and they have no clue what has hit them. So now there's a desperate attempt to clutch at any straws which are available. Number one which has been repeatedly the lie, which has repeatedly been peddled by the Congress, is that this is something Rahul got done. Now let's understand the genesis of both the parties. Now, if we go back not even to BJP, but you go back to its precursor, the Janasangh, the bedrock of our philosophy is Antodaya. Everything that is being done, if today 80 crore people are being given food, it is because of Antodaya. All the schemes of the government for welfare schemes, whatever, from Ujjwala to whatever schemes, are all aimed at Antodaya. That is what is our commitment. Not from today, but from the Janasangh time. And now go back on the Congress. Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru is on record to have written a letter to all the CMs saying, I oppose reservation of all kinds. Mr. Rahul Gandhi, he stonewalled the Mandal Commission and said we are looking at what will happen to the country. We are not going to go ahead with any of this. It's a matter of convenience. A word was used previously, a matter of convenience, when suddenly it was felt convenient to show what are you. So suddenly the Tatre Brahman was discovered, Janeudhari, the Tatre Brahman was discovered. But it doesn't happen like that. The commitment has to be within you. Now, any number of Congress people, Jagjeevan Ramji is on record having said that a Dalit can never be the Prime Minister of this country if Congress was to appoint one. We have seen what happened to Shailja ji. Jairam Ramesh has commented, Virappan Moily had said caste census is not possible. So on and so forth. Examples are any number. Who stonewalled Kaka Kelkar? Congress did. They say Manmohan Singh did the caste census, but then he did not have the courage to release it. Why? Today, now when this has been taken away from them, today now they want to talk about percentages, they want to somehow raise a bogey in the country. Okay, if you're so happy, be happy, right? You're saying you got it done. So, okay, it is getting done, right? Go celebrate. Now, why are you so sad? Why are you so agitated? You wanted something, it is happening, right? What more can you ask from a government that you wanted something, they're doing it. So what are you so agitated about?
Okay,
But
sir.
let's face it, they were the ones who opposed Murmuji. They did not want, they could not think of a Adivasi Mahila as the president of this country. BJP appointed two Adivasi CMs, two Dalit deputy CMs. The Prime Minister himself is an OBC, so on and so forth. I mean, one could go on and on this.
Valid
But
point,
the
sir.
fact
Valid
is,
point, sir.
Today, Congress has no clue what is hitting it, and it is pure political opportunism to do whatever, because they've lost relevance, political relevance in the country today, and there is some attempt to regain it any which way you can.
Absolutely right. So you're quite right. In fact, let's see what Nikhat has to say. Nikhat Abbas, Congress spokesperson, also joins us. Nikhat, good to have you. Would you like to respond to what Dr. Tayal had to say? That, there have been anomalies in the way the Congress party has also approached this subject. So they are nobody to lecture or, have any kind of a high moral ground on how this census should go.
It is so laughable when Mr. Dharmendra Tayalji has mentioned that how Sangh has been pro-caste census, because lately when we have heard about the sources and through the media, of course, that Mohan Bhagwatji has showed major discomfort about this, and he was not agreeing to it, and which is why he had made the last visit which he made lately to Pradhan Mantri Narendra Modi, and he was really upset about it. And as far as we've got to know, it is all about the threatening of Nitish Babu because of looking forward to the Bihar elections, and which is why he has threatened that if he doesn't pass the caste census in the parliament, he would just take a step back from the NDA. And that's exactly what has happened with the Narendra Modi's government. And yes, I am very grateful to my leader and leader of opposition, Rahul Gandhi ji, that he has been so consistent, and the entire party has been so consistent. Not only me, let alone me, the entire nation, the OBC, SC, ST, everybody has been grateful and thankful to the LOP that he has been consistently, vouching for the caste census in the parliament with a very high and a clear voice. And that's exactly what has pinched the Narendra Modi government. Now let me, just because Mr. Tayal was bringing, I like the way he's smiling, but I don't know if he would smile after when he would heard when he would, recall the statement of the UP CM Adityanath, that he had said that jiska caste census या जो जातिवाद पे बंटवारे की बात करेगा उसके तो DNA में रावण और दुर्योधन है. तो ये सारी बातें भी देश के प्रधानमंत्री ने सुनी होंगी, तयाल साहब ने सुनी होंगी, and आदित्यनाथ ने बोली है, not let alone the chief minister of Uttar Pradesh, but many leaders from top to down has always spoken against the caste, and we know that, and not only us, the entire people of the country have seen that. So let's be very clear that it is only a political gimmick. But of course, when it comes to that you claim that you would empower the OBC, the SC and the STs, I would also ask the government that obviously how would you ensure their empowerment unless you keep a count of them. So yes, it is very important, and it is certainly the most important thing right now to empower our OBC, SC, STs. And as far as he has talked about our very honorable president, Ms. Murmu ji. So this is the only party who hadn't called Ms. Murmu ji to the Ram Mandir inauguration, and they shouldn't be forgetting that. Also, one more thing which I would remember and recall, and Mr. Tayal would also agree with it, because this was all over the media, that their ministers only, when a Dalit visits the temple, their ministers wants to clean it with Ganga Jal, Shuddhikaran karte hain. So when you talk about Dalits and SC, ST and OBCs, you should bring some fact on, because this is the only party, Bharatiya Janata Party, who opposed caste census in the Supreme Court. So consistently we have seen the statements, the kind of statements Bharatiya Janata Party's leaders have given out and the way they have worked. And also Narendra Modi himself has said that caste census तो हम नहीं करेंगे क्योंकि हमारे लिए तो जाति गरीबी है, किसानों की है, महिलाओं के लिए. Forget that they haven't done anything for the females, for the empowerment of farmers or for the poorer. But yes, they have been always saying that caste Jangarna, Jati Jangarna is going to divide our nation. Now it really shocks me, but obviously when I got to know that it was Nitish Babu was forced because of the assembly elections in Bihar, now I really look forward to that it is not a gimmick, and not only Bihar, it is going to be there all over country, and not like the women's bill which has been put down in the box, and it was just a bill which was passed to play a gimmicky or a trick for the elections, that yes, we are going to empower the females. Now let's see what happens, and I hope that the government does not shut it back in the
All right,
boxes,
Sumit wants to respond to you, Nikhat.
Exactly
Sumit is eager to respond to you. Sumit, go ahead.
I have quite a few points. Just hear me out. First of all, I mean, we were told yesterday Rahul Gandhi tweeted, मैंने मोदी से करवाया, मैंने बोला था मैं करवाऊंगा, मैंने करा के रखा. Now the Congress spokesperson is saying it's because of Nitish Kumar. So who did it? Rahul Gandhi or Nitish Kumar? Let's settle it on the national TV. कल तक तो मुझे बता राहुल गांधी ने करवाया. Okay, then why is Rahul Gandhi taking the credit? He has not done it. I have few pointed questions which nobody answers from the Congress. What about Muslim reservation? What about if quotas are unset? What happens to that? If yes, there is a provision in the constitution, we have to know how many STs are there, and how many OBCs are there. But there is no provision in the constitution which says under OBC kaun si jati kitni hai. Yes, you must know the number, okay, this percentage, that's all. But there is no pravdhan where you have to go and dissect it deeper, because that is not going to give any purpose. When you look at Ayushman Bharat, you look at Prajwala, Ujjwala, you look at any of the government, you look at Shochalaya, you look at Mudra, you look at any of the government schemes where a jati was asked, where a dharm was asked. If the dharm was not asked, what about a jati, it was not asked. Can Congress come clean on the Muslim reservation? They will not, because that is the agenda. Can Congress come clean why Siddaramaiah ji is not publishing the data? Why Dr. Manmohan Singh did not publish the data? Yesterday their spokesperson was saying, we don't have technology, hame 2 saal lage data compile karne mein. You can do it now. Big data, Hadoop, do it now. Within this show, you can have the data out. What's it stopping you from compiling the data? And if Rahul Gandhi is so much into the country, now you have taken the biggest junjuna out of his hand. He was trying to push the government, cajole the government did it. Now he's saying, you do, you are doomed. You don't do, you are doomed. That is exact. It's a child who wants to eat the cake and who at the same time wants to have it. So what do you do with that child? Kya karoge us bacche ke saath? So that is the problem what the country is facing. And Vineet, there's one more question which is very important. Why is Congress selectively going after this agenda? Now you were telling me what it has to do. Let me tell you, sir. 3 days back, New Delhi, there was a ceasefire violation from Pakistan. 24 places they violated the ceasefire. CCP, Cabinet Committee on Security met, emergency meeting Modi ji ne bulai, right? After that, CCPEA, Cabinet Committee of Economic Affairs met, that is quite logical. That point of time, we were told CCPA is meeting, Cabinet Committee on Political Affairs. Now, when the country is in such a turmoil, why does CCPA need to meet? What is the political agenda you have to settle at this point of time when you have Pakistan and China knocking on your doors? Okay, after that, Ashwini Vaishnavji announced that. The question on my allegation is, did Congress push government into this? Did Congress threaten the government that if you don't do it, we are not going to support it? Because you have a front open with China. You have China saying, I have troops in Ladakh. You have Bangladesh saying, Muzu yesterday, Muhammad Yunus yesterday saying, one of his Fakhrul Zaman saying.
Okay, Sumit, just let me in fact get other responses to what you have said. Advocate Mishra also wants to respond to you. Then we go to Dr. Tyal and then Nikhat. Advocate Mishra, go on.
So as I said, Sunit, I fail to understand what the point is being made here. You know, that what the Congress will do.
Well, actually, let me sum it up for you. What he's saying, what Mr. Mishra, what actually Sumit is saying, that this is a case of the kettle calling the pot black. Basically, that's what he's saying.
No, he may choose to use whatever the phraseology he wants, but everybody here, including you, Sumit, know the history of BJP and RSS and their aversion to caste census and any kind of reservation, because ideologically they are opposed to it, because they feel it strikes at the very philosophy of Hindu unifications, Hindu polarizations for political and cultural gain. And therefore, it is really ridiculous that a BJP today says that they have, there is a change in heart and thereby they have agreed for this caste census. Of course, there has been a constant pressure from Congress and their ally to announce this caste census and recalibrate, and understand the populations of the OBCs.
Okay, Dr. Tyal wants to respond to you. Dr. Tyal, constant pressure from the opposition, primarily the Congress party, has led to this move. Your thoughts?
Very interesting what he has just said. So he's really missed the bus completely when he says there is an ideological challenge. I mean, I told you that the bedrock of our ideology is Antodaya. Now to think that the Hindu society would be split. Now, if we are, say we are 4 brothers, one is not doing well, and we help him come up, is the family getting divided with that? This is something Congress will never understand this. Please, Gyaneshwarji. Congress will never understand this. When you want that the whole country should progress, if 25 crore people have come out of abject poverty, it is because something has been done. Because Nikhat ji was asking that what has been done for the people. Also, it is being said that Rahul has been consistent. That is something that I would really want to agree with, because the moment he came up with this demand, immediately CWC was changed and it was filled with the appropriate number of OBCs, and the Rajiv Gandhi Foundation, all the directors were changed and OBCs were brought in, and very consistent. I mean, with what face are we saying this? What consistency? Yes, he has been he's been consistently lying. Yes, for his political survival, yes, that is what he's been doing. And she also spoke about Draupadi Murmuji. This is the party which used the word Rashtrapatni. Let them not forget it. They are the ones. So, and most interesting where I find in what she has said is they've completely disowned their legacy. Not a word on Jawaharlal Nehru, not a word on Rajiv Gandhi. They don't exist.
Let's get a response from Nikhat as well, sir. Yeah, sir. Nikhat, go ahead. We have a paucity of time. Please respond.
Yes, thank you so much. Like my friends
have you disowned your legacy?
Panelists have been constantly saying that it has been done by BJP, and BJP was always. I mean, bring out some logical facts and one statement by Narendra Modi or any of your senior leaders. Forget Narendra Modi. Bring any of your senior leaders' statement on record right now, Tayal Sahab, which states that हम caste census करेंगे, हम जाति जनगणना कराएंगे. मैं मान जाऊंगी Tayal Sahab आपको. You are बहुत वरिष्ठ, very senior to me. I respect you for that. एक statement आप मुझे दिखा दो right now on record. आपके पास 2 मिनट है, आप ढूंढ लो वो वीडियो मिल जाए तो. दूसरा, Rahul Gandhi has been very consistent, like I said, but of course, like one of my friends has just questioned कि आपने तो नीतीश बाबू को क्रेडिट दे दिया. Yes, my friend, because नीतीश बाबू has threatened कि नहीं करोगे तो हम राहुल गांधी जी के साथ जाके और भी जो घटक दल है, क्योंकि कैसे चिराग पासवान जी has been constantly heckling the government. We need. Okay, let's not speak over each other. Let's not speak over each other. Sumit, let her finish. This is not how we debate on NewsX. So, because Chirag Paswan has also been telling the NDA government, because he's a part of the NDA, that we need the caste census. There was so much pressure that they all of them knew that Rahul Gandhi and the Congress's party would always ensure that the caste census would be done in each state and nationwide, which is why they were threatening the government. And Rahul Gandhi, being Rahul Gandhi, he's the voice of India, he's the voice of the people of the nation, and which is why PM Narendra Modi had to give up, and you had to come up despite of the fact so many. I'm sorry to say on NewsX, but so many media channels and anchors and so many leaders and so many trollers and so many so-called right-wingers were, they've been bashed. I mean, they don't have an answer how to be explaining that what has happened with them, because still until an hour ago when this news had come up, they were completely offended and they were completely, defying this caste census. And
okay, all right, we have a paucity of time. Nikhat, I apologize. We have a paucity of time. All right, okay, all right, let's end it there. Sumit, 10 seconds, please, 10 seconds.
आलू बनाने की मशीन लगाऊंगा मैं.
That was said by Narendra Modi. I can show the video. Do not lie on the television.
Just 2 seconds.
Murmuji, they oppose Dalits. They oppose APJ Abul Kalam for re-election. That is their real way.
Can I get 2 seconds?
That is the real thing. They're only consistent about Rahul Gandhi is going to export and speaking against India and closing up with and walking and talking with those anti-India forces. What you have not opposed against India?
Okay. Dr. Tyal, quickly, sir. Dr. Tyal, 10 seconds. Dr. Tyal, 10 seconds. 10 seconds, Dr. Tyal. All right, 10 seconds, Dr. Tyal. 10 seconds. 10 seconds, please. 10 seconds.
The first right on the resources of the countries of Muslims. Is she going to deny it? So are they going to? Is it going to be the OBC Muslim? Come clean on that.
Okay, all right. We have run out of time. This is obviously a raging debate at this point in time. A lot of inputs, a lot of in fact theories and facts from the past can be attributed to what has transpired yesterday. But we have run out of time. We'll take a short break. Be right back.